Okay, so welcome to our workshop. Today we have a lot of fun things planned for you. The name of the workshop is New Year, New Way of Teaching. So just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Dunya. I'm the head of academic community at Oktopi. So I actually graduated with a bachelor's in nutrition, and then I did my master's in international business with a minor in marketing from San Francisco and New York. And I used to manage the Happy program for an NGO in Lebanon for refugees. And I also taught at a private school in Dubai before I joined Oktopi. And we also have the agenda for today. So what's the objective of today's workshop? What are we going to achieve? We are going to learn how to leverage technology to meet the learning demands of the next generation. So we are going to start with a nice introduction, talk about where is education heading, the importance of cohort-based learning and teaching, virtual teaching experience and demo. We're going to show you Oktopi, how you can be discoverable, Q&A, then we can take a small break, and then we can start with the activities. You are going to be using the Oktopi tools today, and we are going to work together to see how you can navigate the system and how you can use it to make your teaching life easier and get acquainted with good technology.
So a little bit about myself. Donya already told you I'm the founder and CEO at Oktopi. I have a master in engineering and physics and a PhD in comparative studies from Sorbonne in Paris. I have 20 years of experience, I'm getting old, as a researcher, an author, and an educator. I used to teach engineering, literature, and sustainable development in high school and universities. And I'm also a lifelong learner. I'm interested in art and urbigraphy, so urban studies, and I'm a parent of young kids. So education is really, really important for me as a professional and as an individual as well. And it's really part of my family purpose to really raise the next generation and to be more in line with what is going to happen in the world of tomorrow. So talking about the world of tomorrow, there is something that I noticed as an educator, but also as a parent and as a learner, is that when we talk about the next generation of learners, it's not only young kids. Obviously, the young kids is the next generation, but it's also us adults as lifelong learners. We learn differently than we used to do when we were at school. And students today, young students as well, they are a generation born with technology. And actually, in our everyday life, we use technology everywhere. We use emails, we use WhatsApp, we are on social media, we use technology. If you are an educator, you use technology maybe at school with learning management system or just your computer, right? And internet. So we need to really adapt to the way learners are using this technology. Learners today, they find a lot of resources online. They have an attention span that is very reduced. They are much more independent as well. And they need to be listened and they need some kind of personalization. So today we cannot think about how it was done 200 years ago and how standardization happened in the traditional teaching environment or traditional schools. So we are going back to a model that is more equitable and that is listening to our students, listening to the needs of the learners of today. So maybe it's a return to apprenticeship and it's a return to being more flexible as an educator and also more accountable. There is another thing that is happening is that in terms of technology is that there is a need for cohort-based environment, okay? So in a normal classroom, you have the teacher and the students together. But what happens when we bring technology tools, especially when we go online and we do online learning? So what is cohort-based? Cohort-based learning is a collaborative learning style in which a group of individuals advance through an educational program together. And it means it's a classroom with a teacher and students over a period of time. And studies have shown that cohort-based learning is much more efficient and engaging. So we talk about tutoring, for example. Tutoring 101 is good, but think about it with a group where students can learn from students as well, where the teacher is not anymore just diffusing content, but really into this interaction with different people and different narrative, I would say. So on Oktopi, we decided to really build the technology. So we're not a content education technology. We are a platform. We are cohort-based. We have a lot of analytics. And our mission is to bring educators and learners together to create these personalized learning experiences in a collaborative space. So we created this end-to-end platform because we want our instructors or the instructors using Oktopi to be more successful, more impactful, more relevant, and more productive. We want the learner to have better and more meaningful learning experiences and have educators that are accountable as well. And when the educators are teaching younger students, we want to involve parents as well. Parents are very important. So I guess you've all experienced the annoying parents. It's because parents are not necessarily informed. So informing them and bringing them into this triangle of trust will help in your teaching journey and in the learning journey of the student. So technology comes really as a partner and not replacing what you're doing. So you're still at the center, but you will need these tools to be more accessible, more democratized, easier to use. So you need a workspace for that, okay? So today your workspace, it's your classroom with your computer, with your WhatsApp, with your email, with your learning management system. We bring everything under one platform. So you spend less time doing admin and more time impacting your student. We bring some kind of automation. So for you, to do less admin and more impactful work, we bring you some analytics to better understand your cohort and your student. We allow you to create and curate content and receiving feedback on this content. Is it relevant? Is it successful in the learning journey? And we allow you, and technology will allow you to adapt to these new learning styles of your students. And in your classroom, you will have many different kinds of students. You will need to adapt to all of them because it's also a world where you need to be centered on the students. So the technology has to be flexible, accessible. You can teach on the go. You need more time for you or to be impactful. You might do remote teaching. So you might decide to be an independent educator, and this is your way of life. And you can, create a course enterprise and reach students abroad and work from everywhere, anywhere, and at any time. Or you could be working in an institution or a school. And if there is some kind of disruption, like, for example, COVID, lockdown, quarantine, very bad weather, you cannot reach to school, you're sick, or some of the students are sick, but still wants to keep, studying, we are talking now remote teaching. You need to be discoverable. And the technology, it's also a way to create and nurture a community. So technology will help you reach people maybe that are not in the same country, but will make a beautiful community for you to learn from these people as well. So it's very important when we create technology or when we use a technology or when you're going to choose technology to help you to have an end-to-end teaching experience where you can create courses, add your learning resource, invite your student and start the class and eventually getting paid. And this is what we created on Oktopi. And this platform, this technology, will allow you to be really in charge and committed to your work. So this interaction between the instructor and the learner will be facilitated by the technology and by oktopi.
Thank you, Amélie. That was an amazing introduction, because it's really nice not only to look at the tools that people are using now to move online, but also to see in a way, like Amélie, what you said, it's your partner and it's all about the new way of teaching. So really creating a blended, meaningful environment for your learners. So I'm going to be taking it from here. So we're going to be talking about experiencing a new way of educating, and then we're going to take a deep dive into the platform. So in terms of experiencing a new way of educating, we have to think right now, how are you going to stand out among different educators? So how can you teach the way you already do? So Nibal, Rahaf, you already teach. But how can you teach it differently? Can you teach it in a different language? Can you break down what you want to teach into smaller topics? Can you build a learner base that will choose to learn with you versus someone else? How can you do this? Oktopi helps you do this. So we spoke a lot about discoverability. So discoverability comes very handy when not only do you want to stop at being a teacher, but also a teaching entrepreneur. So you want to put yourself out there and connect with these digital native students. Discoverability humanizes you, and it allows the learners to connect with you beyond learning material. So مش بس الcontent, you're also showing them you. When you do this, you will attract more learners and they will prefer you versus others. So when we talk about discoverability, we have the Learn space at Oktopi. It is a place on Oktopi where you can publish your courses. This will help you reach a learner base outside your network. You can also look at how other instructors are doing their courses. You can get inspired by them, and you can even create content for lifelong learning. So Rahaf, you told me you teach preschool, right?
Yes.
Okay, is there something else other than teaching KG1 that you feel you are equipped to teach, or do you like only teaching preschool?
No, I hope to teach primary school.
Exactly. So if you wanted to teach something outside what you're doing at school, you can create a course for primary students, for example, a little bit older, and publish those courses and reach learners that are looking for someone who can teach them primary content. So here's an example of the courses we have on our Learn space. We have, for example, تعلم إيطالي مع لارا. عم تتعلموا اللغة الإيطالية بس بالعربي. Or بلدتي, which is about having a sustainable home. A lot of people have very high bills when it comes to their home. There's a lot of waste. So this is actually a way for you to learn how to make your home sustainable. A chess class, a course that explains to you how to do chess. So learning is not limited only to what is existing in classroom walls. It could be holistic content, or even Excel in Arabic. دورة إكسل باللغة العربية من المستوى المبتدئ إلى الاحترافي. So how can you be discoverable? Social media is actually such a strong weapon now to actually be discoverable, share your knowledge with your students, and become the co-conspirator. Yani, you can share with your students your real life experiences. You can share with them things you failed at teaching before, but how you jumped back. You can use YouTube, Facebook, if you can تعملوا lives on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It is a way the generation you have to see you. This is a way for the entire generation to see you as a teacher. One of the examples I gave is TikTok. Did you know now, Learn on TikTok, hashtag Learn on TikTok has over 1 billion views. Yani when you do a video and you hashtag it learn on TikTok, there is a potential of 7 billion actually viewing this video. And it allows you to connect with your students. لأنه your students هلا, the potential ones that you could be teaching on the side or connecting with, they're already on TikTok. This community is happening online. And with this specific platform, it's about short form videos. So they're very relatable. They don't have to be professionally shot. You can shoot it from your phone. So we actually work very closely with TikTok. And here's a video of why. Oktopi works very closely with TikTok for two reasons. The first being, it gives you, as an educator, a space to interact with the community, bond with potential future students. Second, you can use the fun TikTok videos that you do create in your class learning resources. So that means your student can actually enjoy watching you deliver the content in a very creative way in your Oktopi class. Now, how can you use TikTok to your benefit? First of all, you can go easily viral on TikTok. All you have to do is keep an eye out to the upcoming challenges. Make sure that you have a narrative. So kind of decide on what type of content you want to be delivering, what's your theme, and I'm going to be giving you all the tips and tricks to be able to use TikTok to your own benefit. Oktopi. So what happens when you post a video, in this case, it's TikTok, it could be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, but people will actually reach out to you. يعني هون في a comment from Kayal asking me, where can I find this teacher? I want to bring her for my daughter. Hon, I have a new student willing to actually take a course with me. Or Diana is asking me in Arabic, how can I help her child speak multiple languages? So you are actually growing with the feedback. You are starting to see what people are interested in. So I actually did a test with TikTok. I did a video that was very trendy. I put sunglasses, it was music. I only got 400 views. Then I did another video where I asked students, what would you change in school? I got 5,000 views. That shows you that people are actually looking to learn on TikTok now. So it was a very nice way to show that smart content has a very big potential and people will grow with you. Now, how can you deliver your course in a collaborative space? So this is right before we take a short break, but this is actually a demo of Oktopi. هغير الويب سايت، خلينا نستعمل هيدا يمكن أحسن. And then we will take some questions and answers. Hi, my name is Danya and I'm the Academic Community Manager at Oktopi. I'm going to show you.
Donia, we don't hear any sound.
Maybe if I unmute.
Yeah, maybe.
Now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Hi, my name is Danya and I'm the Academic Community Manager at Oktopi. I'm going to show you how to navigate through our cohort-based learning management system. As soon as you've logged in and created an account, you will be required to create a school. You can use this school to organize your classes under one umbrella, or you will be able to create multiple schools depending on how you wish to organize your teaching. You can enter a school description, an article, you may even link a website if you have any, or add a social link, as well as add a school name and logo. After doing so, you'll be navigated to the dashboard, where all your teaching will be organized in one place. If you have any scheduled materials inside the class, they will be shown according to your calendar. If you have not begun yet, then you will simply see all the action buttons you can take to begin your teaching journey. If you would like to see a day before, you can click on the calendar and look at what you have. If you have a scheduled live session and it is about to begin, you may simply click Start Meeting Now and Zoom directly with your students on the platform. You may always go back weeks in time and check what materials you had assigned for that day in case you wanted to revise anything. You also have a notepad where you will be able to leave notes according to specific days, a bulletin board that notifies you of any notification from the school, as well as a story feature where you may add a story, select the class you want to share the story to, and interact with your students outside the academic space. Your students may also send you some stories and you may approve or reject them. The dashboard can be filtered according to all your classes or by a specific class that you've created. If you would like to create a class, simply click on Add New, and you may start your teaching journey by either creating a class or starting by creating the resources. It is completely up to you. If you choose to create a class, you may choose between an open class or a scheduled class. You can create as many classes as you'd like. An open class is a self-paced class. That means the student can join at any time and complete the material according to their own pace. Once they're enrolled, you may still give them some live sessions. Whereas a scheduled class means that the class has a specific duration, a start and an end date, and on the materials inside are scheduled according to date and time. They also include live sessions. When you choose to create a class, simply enter the class information necessary and you will be able to set the class as a priced class or a free one. You may also attach anything you want to show the students what they will learn if they enroll in your class. After doing so, I'm going to show you an example of a class I have created. It is called Education Technology Advanced. I have assigned myself to lead and teach this class. If I press Assign Teacher, I can choose somebody else from my list to teach the class. I can also enter a very detailed class description with a video and other supporting references. If I want to populate my class with material, I can do so by adding an activity, which could be a scheduled live session using our direct Zoom capability with Zoom, or an in-person session where you can actually meet your students face-to-face and schedule a meet and greet. Or you can create your resource. Choose between a material, assessment, or assignment. You may attach anything you want in terms of a video, PDF, a PowerPoint, or even create an assessment like a multiple choice quiz in order to keep your student engagement high. You may also add the link if you would like to curate some resources for your students to see. You will always be able to link your resource to objectives. We actually have an objectives space where you could create your own program and manually add objectives, or you can add a preset standard and use our integrated curriculums to link your resource to official objectives. And those objectives come in 3 languages: English, Arabic, and French. You may also, when you're adding an activity in your class, add an activity from your library. This means that you can recycle content and you do not need to do the work again. To show you an example of a resource I created, you can see the mood meter assignment. Here I have added for students a picture and some videos. I am able to see my student rating in terms of what they thought about this resource. If I would like to invite students to attend the class and I know the student, I can click on the invite button, share a link with the student, or invite them via email. I'm also able to publish the class to the Explore Classes page where students browsing the Oktopi website can view my class and choose to enroll. Once a student enrolls, you may see their class progression rate. That means how much of the material have they actually created. If you click on it, you will see in detail which resource they have chosen to open and if whether or not they have submitted anything. You can open the resource you have given them, go to Attach and Comment, and look at what the student has submitted. You may also have a conversation with the student regarding the specific resource and choose to score it. If you would like to personalize material for that student, you may also add a resource or schedule an event specific to that student, which allows them to get a differentiated experience. If you look at the left side on the vertical column, you will notice that we have libraries for everything. If you have created a class, based on the class type, it will go into its designated library. That means you can always go back to the class, copy it, and rename it and run it again. You do not need to repeat the work. Same with the resources. They will be aggregated in your library, and you may filter them according to the resource material you have created. In terms of the people and collaborators in your school, you can click on teachers and add and invite anybody you wish to collaborate with, and click on their name and assign certain permissions or even have a discussion with them. If you would like to change your profile, click on the profile icon and click My Profile in order to customize the profile like you wish. You also have in the profile setting a payment setting. Once you choose that, you will be able to streamline your payment collection if your class has a price. We work with two payment systems, Tap for accounts in the Middle East and Stripe for international accounts and accounts in the UAE. Each account has a specific set of instructions for you to instantly link your payment to your account and to be able to receive payments in a seamless way. If you would like to chat with your colleagues and your students, you can click on the messaging board and actually chat with them in groups or each individual student by himself. You can click on the notification icon to stay up to date with any notifications going on in your school and change the language between English and Arabic.